Hi, this is a quick recording of a demo that we previously presented to the CodePath Swift class on Wednesday. We are the KIPP team. I'm VJ, and Dylan and Vanessa are my teammates. And we were very lucky as part of this project to get to work with KIPP Bay Area and Jenny Doherty, who's heading up innovation for them. KIPP is a nationwide network of charter schools. And some of the things that are unique about KIPP that really attract us to this project was a commitment to character being an important aspect of education. So KIPP students are typically lower income. About 86% of them qualify for federally subsidized school meals. And one of the things that KIPP discovered through the founders at the beginning was how important character was for students from lower economic backgrounds to overcome the challenges that they face in trying to get into college. KIPP has narrowed in on 12 different traits that are important for students in that environment. And they're things that you might recognize from your own careers as having been important to you in developing. Some of them are around self-control when being confronted with difficult situations, optimism, and social intelligence being an aspect of the ability to understand the emotions of those around you and having empathy for others. So one of the ways in which KIPP is evolving and that Jenny is helping them with is incorporating technology into the classroom in a smart way. So since Jenny's been there, there's been Chromebooks introduced into almost every classroom, a greater than one-to-one ratio of Chromebooks to students. And there are a variety of back-end software that they've been using, which help bridge both out of the classroom and in classroom behaviors. For example, studying math, there's online software that helps students move at their own track and really work with an engaging software platform. And teachers become more of a facilitated aspect of that experience where they'll have breakout sessions in the middle of class and help students with parts of that online software that they're really struggling with. Some parts of that software integration I think are still a bit of a pain point for both Jenny and the teachers. So for example, there's a back-end attendance tracking software called Kickboard, and there's still a printed paper process where Jenny will manually mail merge attendance data and hand that out to teachers that need it. And we've seen that across many of the different software providers on the back end that often they don't work well together and they don't provide a simple front-end interface for teachers. Teachers, on the other hand, all have iOS devices, either iPhone or iPad, and so it's a great opportunity for us to develop a solution that helps them bridge that back-end software gap and also provide something useful to them both before class, during class, and after class where they try to engage parents. So every parent that sends a student to KIPP agrees to be available outside of class for teachers to call them and ask about issues outside the classroom, and also how students are performing during the day. So to start off, we thought about, well, if you're in the class, and hopefully we could automatically select the period for you based upon time of day, but you can also easily access this classes selector and change what period you're looking at. The first thing you might need to do is just track attendance. And we tried to borrow some concepts from Inbox and other getting things done styled software where you can just simply swipe and mark that a student is there or absent. We thought this was really important because over time, you might find the software is getting in the way if there's just too much friction of doing certain actions. And so this was a very simple affordance to actually mark students as present or absent, or that you needed to take a note later on what was going on with that student. The second part during the class that we thought you might need to track is different attributes of character associated with students in that period. So one thing you can do here is just jump into a very simple quantitative aspect of character where you can mark for this week that this student had, maybe exhibited higher levels of intellectual curiosity. So maybe on their own accord, they've gone and picked up a book and they've started reading through that book. And that's a positive character attribute that you want to track for yourself. You can also mark maybe social intelligence being low because they had trouble understanding why they were being in a tricky situation with one of their friends. And you can maybe mark optimism as being high because they exhibited some aspect of courage towards their ability to actually get into college or took steps towards that college path. So all you have to do on this screen is really quickly mark traits, and you can track over time the history for all these attributes and graph that out. The other part of what we wanted to do here was just let teachers take actions on what they wanted to do. So if you wanted to mark a student as needing improvement, you could very simply write down a reason why the student needed to work on social intelligence. Or, for example, SI because struggled with understanding hallway rules in a crowded classroom. And you can take down quick notes, and the notes are all synced on the back end. And so once you actually get into the actions section, you can look at notes that you've taken on a given student. And here you can just quickly browse through all the actions that you've already previously noted, or if you wanted to chart the entire history of all the actions that you've written out, you could see that here. This we thought was just an important way for teachers to not have the software get in the way of their daily activities during class, and just quickly mark things to be done later. And on the back end, we've tracked everything for that teacher, so there are multiple avenues where they can use to get at to that data. The last tab here is for teachers to track students who need to have a call made. You could see when was the time you last called that student. This is ordered by which students you've already previously marked as requiring a phone call to their parents. And then using the phone numbers that we have and the backend directory, you can just quickly make a phone call from this list, and you could see that you've previously made a call to this student or parent, and so you can know that maybe you don't need to call them for another few days. The last part of this profile page that we worked on was just a quick way to bring in data from these various backend software and chart that over time. So in this example, you can see the Coacher math backend software that students are using in order to track their online math lessons. You could track the minutes studied and the weekly progress associated with each of those weeks. And if you see a downward-facing trend, you can mark that student to make a phone call at the end of the day. The current topic can vary from addition to multiplication towards whatever that Coacher Math ST software has been issuing for that student. And really quick here, we also made it simple to take photos, so you can change the profile picture for any given student, and that's just an easy way to make it easy to visually scan through, especially when you're doing things like taking attendance and you just want to quickly get to a student that is a problem student, or a student that is one that you want to celebrate later on too.